Shopping, the second job you don't get paid for.
Great job at the grocery store today.
The owners and I have been talking, and we think you're ready for a promotion. We're going to get rid of the rest of our front end staff and give you the privilege of checking inventory yourself.
And you can do it all from your phone.
You are a vigilant volunteer, and we appreciate your dedication. That way, eventually, instead of posting prices, we can make sure only our most loyal customers, like you, get a different price without the other customers finding out. It'll just be a secret between you and me. Take a walk in any modern store and watch what people are actually doing. Not the products, the process. Watch what people are actually doing. They're pushing carts. They're picking up inventory off of shelves, scanning barcodes at self-checkout, bagging their own groceries, and carrying those groceries out to their car. If a logistics manager walked in unknowingly, they'd assume they were watching warehouse staff on shift.
Consumers are part of the supply chain, with the illusion of convenience.
Retailers didn't roll out self-checkout because they thought it was empowering. They rolled it out because it offloads labor onto shoppers like you.
Keep up the good work.
It removes paid employees and replaces them with unpaid employees. Consumers now function as the final link in the supply chain, performing tasks that used to be done by actual workers. Now think if another industry tried this. Think about the restaurant industry. You walk into the restaurant, they give you the raw ingredients.
Great, you made it. Now cook it yourself.
Oh, and don't forget to wash up when you're done. Oh, and leave a tip on the counter so we can actually pay our employees. Somebody needs to pay their staff.
We'd call that ridiculous.
In retail, we call it convenience.
It is extraction.
But the unpaid labor is just the most visible layer. The real siphon in the whole process is right under your feet.
That vague place where everything in a society occurs.
It is almost too obvious.
The land?
Yes, the land is where everything happens. Some of that land is covered by water, but alas, it is land. Now, stores aren't profitable just because you're pushing the cart. They're profitable because they sit on high-value land, locations that are made visible by you and everyone else that goes there. This is called demand. This demand comes from the productive community around the store. Roads, traffic, population, schools, safety, transit, and public investment all pump value into that land. Yet, the landowner of that store, who created none of this, quietly collects the rising rent.
Rent is baked into every price that you pay.
Businesses write the check, sure, but they don't actually absorb the cost. They pass it straight to the consumer through pricing. So while businesses appear to shoulder part of the burden, the final payer is you.
Every swipe of your card helps fund the landlord's unearned windfall.
In other words, you're not just doing unpaid labor. You're also subsidizing the ground that it happens on.
The dual role you play is real.
You are the perfect target. You perform the labor that cuts payroll. You pay the prices inflated by rising land value. You help create the very community conditions that boost the land value in the first place. You're the worker, the product, and the financial engine, all in one.
A mechanism that operates in silence.
Most people don't see the siphon beneath our feet. because it's designed to disappear into normality. Nobody walks into the store thinking,
I'm paying for some landlord's asset appreciation today.
but every piece of public investment and every additional person that moves into a neighborhood bumps those land values higher. And the landlord captures all of it.
He appreciates your sacrifice.
Meanwhile, the improvements that you funded through your taxes show up as higher prices at the store.
It's brilliant.
In the most oppressive way.
Well, what would a fair system look like?
It'd look like a single land value tax that would replace all other taxes and fees. By abolishing all taxes and fees, a land value tax would completely flip the logic, replacing complexity with simplicity. Something everybody can understand. Something you don't need an attorney for to understand the economy, to understand the tax system. You can understand it. It also applies to all other unearned wealth, but let's focus on land. Now, instead of the public creating land value for private landowners to harvest, the landowner would owe the community the value created by privileged access to that market. With a tax system like this, you could think of the community like an investor now, with time as their investment. When they invest their time into a location, that location becomes more valuable. The same as it is today.
The same as it works today.
The only difference is that the retailers focus more on quality rather than profit that comes from that location. One quick tangent, you know how we always talk about quality, about things always getting worse? Well, in a system like this, things just get better over time because of real, transparent competition. Alright, back to this. Retailers would stop treating their customers like unpaid workers because the cost of doing business would reflect the actual labor, not hidden subsidies. Now, the reality. Shoppers shouldn't be clocking in for a shift, and you shouldn't be subsidizing both your labor and the land that it's being performed on. But that's the setup these days. You do the work, you pay the prices, you fund the neighborhood, someone else collects the reward, be it the landowner or the bank that owns the mortgage. So shopping really is your second job. You just never got a paycheck. At some point, people need to recognize the obvious. The division inside the 99.99% of people is manufactured nonsense. The cashier, the truck driver, the warehouser, the renter, the manager, the guy greeting you in front of Walmart. None of these people are each other's enemy. They're all on the same side of the extraction machine. If anything needs to unionize, it's not a workplace.
It's the public itself.
Call it solidarity, collective power, a global commons.
Pick whatever barcode you want.
The point is the same. The vast majority of humanity has more in common with each other than the top sliver of 0.01% of people. You do not live in their world, but you live in the world they run. A tiny fraction of people siphoning off the value of everybody else. The moment people stop fighting sideways and start looking up,
the entire structure shakes.
That's why the current system works so hard to keep people obsessed with each other's flaws instead of noticing the machinery that's bleeding everybody dry. The truth is simple. We are not natural opponents. We are natural allies who have been taught and brainwashed to forget it. And the day people realize this is the day that this extraction ends. Thanks for watching my video. Please like and share, and I'll see you tomorrow.